welcome back to the Wizard Weekly, where we talk about everything in gaming. So earlier in the month, Sega, they teased that we were going to be getting a new Virtua Fighter installment of, some nature after a really long time since we last got, a new installment of this classic versus arcade game. But in light of this news, it just seems like we're going to be getting the same dish but with new seasoning, because it was announced that we're going to be getting another version of Virtua Fighter 5, this time with the remastered version dubbed 𝐅𝐸𝐿 or Revo, arriving this winter. And when I say another, remaster installment of the same game, I don't just mean like the last 2021 version that came on the PlayStation 4. This game has long since been ported to multiple different platforms at multiple different times in the past 18 years since it's been out, because the game came out in 2006. Like, the game is old enough to register to vote. But yesterday they released this announcement trailer with a cinematic of all the 18 characters that we all come to know and love from Virtua Fighter 5, since we've had a very long time to get acquainted with these guys. And now Sega plans to bring this title to PC on Steam, and even add some new updates to the PS4 version, like I just mentioned that we got back in 2021. And I'm not really deep into the whole fighting game genre or fighting game community, because that just takes a lot of skill to memorize all those moves and combos and shit that I just can't do. The wizard mana that I have has to be spent on a lot of other things, like slaying all these goblins on my goddamn house. So I am happy to see people excited for this game coming to PC finally. That must have a lot of opportunities for mods, at least the good kind of customization cons, and hopefully not online mods. But that is pretty cool to hear, along with obviously a new revamp in 4K graphics and new textures and resolutions. Another thing that people are talking about is the fact that this game is going to be adding rollback netcode support, which is a feature that allows games that work online, or mostly like fighting games that you're playing with people across the globe. It makes that transition and that connection more seamless, and it does that by having the game predict what you're going to do next in case that there's going to be like any lag stutter between you and the person that you're playing. Like, well, most games you have the delay based input, which is when the fighting game that you're playing just pauses, like the characters pause but the scene in the background still goes on, like in Mortal Kombat. That is delay based input, to where the game is trying to catch you guys both up to speed so that you're both getting your inputs in. But with rollback netcode, the game just predicts what you're going to do next, but if there's any connection issues, and if it gets to that wrong, then it immediately cuts, and you see some frame skipping whenever you're fighting with someone online. Like, there's usually like a frame generation tab somewhere on the screen. If a game uses this, the more frames that you see lost in that counter, the more it's going to look choppy in the gameplay, which is the worst case scenario. But most of the time, a rollback netcode, it works as intended, and people are really excited to see it on this title, because obviously Virtua Fighter is a popular series, and Virtua Fighter 5 is obviously one of the probably the highest grossing out of all the installments. But I have to say, now in 2024, if you're still playing Virtua Fighter 5, you're like really knee deep into the fighting game community, because there's a lot of more classic, well, not classic, but like more easy to pick up and newer fighting games to play right now, like Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat. So I would just think that if you're playing Virtua Fighter 5, you have the fingers of a god, and you know what you're doing, and you're gonna love little details like rollback netcode support. And like I mentioned, they're going to be showing love to the PlayStation 4 version in the form of the same balance changes that Virtua Fighter 5 Revo is going to have. So, that's pretty cool. But as far as the price goes for this upcoming remaster, they haven't shared anything. The Steam page just says coming soon and add it to your wish list. But the PlayStation 4 version Ultimate Showdown, like I just mentioned, that's going for $749 right now. But it's on sale, but it retails for $30. So about $30 again, 2006. I'm just saying. So that's all pretty cool, but Sega, they've been having a really interesting set of business mood swings in the last couple of months as far as their games go, because they obviously have their high days, like today with them announcing the Virtua Fighter remaster that people are excited for, and also like how we already know about all of their classic IPs that they're working on to make new iterations and remasters of those titles as well, that we have to look forward to. But then you just also have them in the background doing shit like delisting all the Sega classics bundles on PC and on console for no apparent reason as of right now. So that's just kind of like what's going on with this bipolar ass business. But Virtua Fighter 5, those that are diehard, hopefully this will hold them over until maybe a Virtua Fighter 6 will come out. We don't know anytime soon, but really I'm waiting for new Virtua Tennis. That was my shit back in the day. Moving on, I've noticed that I've had a lot of interest in the Xbox Developer Studios releases, which is kind of weird. But Avowed, this is a title that I've been looking forward to for a while now, and it is the upcoming RPG title from Obsidian Entertainment that unfortunately got delayed from, I think, this December to now February of 2025. And really something in me sparked within after I saw the mage gameplay that this title had. That's Dragon Age the Veilguard. What the hell are you showing me that? Like that first person magic, just using the staff and your hands and, you know, all that cool shit. That's what really made me interested in this game, and, you know, really interested in it right now because it's a reoccurring theme that the game, it's pretty fun as far as people that have been playtesting it, and, you know, all these news outlets like IGN here in their final preview, they claim that the title is pretty fun and they wanted to play more. And even VGC, which I obviously quote a lot in my videos, they've been enjoying it as well in their playing. So I'm really excited to hear that Avowed is a fun game, at least. Now, since it is holding on to that RPG nature, you know, like you can see here, there's going to be some decision making and likely branching in the storyline, which people claim it works as intended. Like, you can actually have decisions and, you know, shape the storyline how you want to play. Like, you want to be evil, you can be evil. You want to be nice, you can do that. But, you know, when it comes to decision making in games, I hold Baldur's Gate 3 as the standard. Like, that is the true just decision branching storyline shit that I look for when you say RPG titles. Like, if it doesn't have that, then it's just, you know, a game with decisions that sort of make a impact on the story. If not, it ain't Baldur's Gate 3. So even though the reviewers claim that there is some story choices in this game that, you know, you can make as a player, I don't really have that much high expectation for that aspect of the game, especially since they only got to play like an hour or 2 hours of the game. So, you know, as far as like what really affects the story, I don't even think they know that much. But the biggest thing that I've heard from these reviews is the fact that the combat feels satisfying. Like, even the weapon sounds in this title, when you actually kill someone, it just sounds satisfying from just looking in. So I can only imagine that, you know, people saying that the kills and the stealth and just, you know, just disintegrating people looks as good as it sounds. That gives me a lot of high hope for the title. Like, listen to this shit, man. That's ASMR worthy. Now, when Obsidian Entertainment announced that Avowed was going to get this delay from December to February, they claimed that it was for, you know, outside reasons outside of like the game being more polished, like I guess, you know, publishing or deals or whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember, it was a while ago. But what I did find funny is the fact that, you know, this VGC article that describes Avowed gameplay, they also pointed out the fact that the new release date of February that Avowed is going to come out in, it's going to have a lot of packages of gameplay releases like Civilization 7, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, but that's not even here, the new Yakuza title, and Monster Hunter Wilds. So, you know, releasing this title in, you know, all these other heavy hitting games is going to be a really interesting thing for, you know, Obsidian to do, especially when they had a better likely release date of December to now where it is. So, but yeah, I am a fan of how this game looks right now, so hopefully it lives up to the standard that I'm holding it to right now. But of course, I have to wait and see. A little light on the news today, I know, you know, what can you do? It's dry as hell out here. But remember last video when I talked about how the PS5 Pro, it had this weird as effect on its performance mode for Silent Hill 2, to which the areas of the game just look really weird.
They make this weird ass like popping thing where you look like grease on the ground, basically emulating the PlayStation 3 in 2013 when you got games that came out that year that can barely run on that old ass console.
Well, that finally got fixed, and, you know, it's really cool on Konami's part for getting this update out as soon as it did, because, you know, it seems like it was like what, 2-3 days ago that hit the internet. So the fact that this fixed now is really cool. So yeah, the graphic glitches on PS5 Pro got fixed, but also some trophy hunters were complaining about some things that I didn't really read too much on, but apparently that got fixed as well too. So, you know, good on that. But the patch is just for PS5. It also spans to the Steam version of the title too, to which they have some new, you know, mouse input issues. They improved the range and step for mouse sensitivity, and all the same gameplay issues that were on the PS5 version that they fixed on PC. So really cool on them. So yeah, like I said, it's dead as hell, so I don't really have much else to talk about. So I'm just gonna move on to the last section of this video, and that is just the fact that I had to uninstall Stalker 2 because the game, it just, once I reached a certain part where there was a lot of NPCs and shit, the game just started running terribly. Like, I know I showed you guys how it was running before, like my first day playing it, you know, it was already pretty choppy then, but now it's to the point where I just don't feel like it's not worth the grind of trying to get that game to run at a reasonable space. You know, obviously part of it is optimization, like they said they're going to be fixing some of that, because I do have the minimum specs. I have a 20 series card, which is, you know, what you should have. But at the same time, I do need to upgrade my PC, because, you know, this isn't the only game that runs the way that it does on PC for me right now, because, you know, I do need to upgrade. Luckily it is Christmas time, so hopefully that means new PC time, hopefully. But I just cannot play Stalker 2 in the current state of my build right now. Like, I'll come back and revisit it when, you know, I have upgraded components. So we're tossing that to the side, and that means that I just need a new gameplay once again. Now, the reason I'm on Xbox and not Steam or something else is because I tried to refund my Game Pass. This is the only reason I even have the Game Pass, was to play Stalker 2, but they won't let me refund it, because I guess since I cancel recurring billing, that opts you out of having a refund, which sucks, because, you know, up to this point I'm able to get refunds for every time that I didn't want to have the Game Pass. So whatever, Xbox, take my money, I guess. So since I got 30 days of this shit, you know, I might as well find some new titles. Now, as far as all these big games that come out on the service, I already know about, like, you know, Flight Simulator 2024, Spyro, Goat Simulator. I saw all these games on 𝐄𝐀𝐒𝐈𝐄.com, so I don't really need any of these, you know, big games. But I'm looking more towards, you know, the indie, or not really indie since it's Xbox, but, you know, more towards the smaller developed titles, since, you know, I've really been on my like indie type of game run for a while now. Like 2022 up to like early 2023, I was in my indie game back. Like, I was playing a lot of just experimental shit, but then we just got bombarded with a lot of just big ass releases, and, you know, I couldn't really get too much into those. So now I'm just really trying to see what people are really been making as far as, like, you know, the smaller scale titles. Okay, I kind of lied. You know, Non-Souls, I did get a chance to play that. You know, that was a pretty dope ass game, I'm not gonna lie to you, but not my kind of game, because I don't like Souls like titles. But, you know, I appreciated the what's the word, like, you know, presentation of Non-Souls. This was a really cool side-scroller Souls like title. I really did enjoy that. Well, not really, but, you know. You know, one of the really cool games that I haven't seen people talk about on Xbox Game Pass was Jusan, I don't know how to say it, but this rock climbing title, I played this a lot. This was a really good game. This was a really fun game. Real cozy game to play when you're like watching a show or doing something else in the background. It's really fun. All PC games. As Dusk Falls, that was a pretty fun game to watch people play on Twitch. Pretty cool story game. Never got into Ark. I played the mobile game like in like 2019, and shit was just, it wasn't hitting. Probably not the way to play it anyways. They have Battlefield on here now? Or is this an EA Play thing? Ben 10 Power Trip. Wasn't this on like the Cartoon Network website back in the day, or was this something else? I don't know. I'm thinking about the Flash games from times when I used to go to the library and play Flash games instead of reading, you know. That's probably why I grew up so goddamn dumb. Called the Wild the Angler. Never got to. Ooh, Burnout Paradise, another EA title. City Skylines. I heard City Skylines 2 has been just going bad. It's been tanking. That's unfortunate, because I remember wanting to play City Skylines, the first one, a long time ago when it came out. What was it, like 2015, 14? I wanted to play it so bad, because I was playing SimCity 2013, and that shit was fun. Dragon Age. Bro, what's up with these EA Play titles up there just throwing me off. Evil West. I remember that shit came out. I watched that on Twitch. Well, yeah, I had a Forza Horizon phase last year during this time. And this was a fun little period of my life. They didn't make a new one. I really was prepared to just go all out with Stalker 2 and just, you know, get immersed in that game, but it's hard to get immersed when the game just runs like butt. Harold Halibut was a great ass title. Like, this game here, like, everything that you see is made in clay and, you know, animated. So it's so real cool to just look at. And the OST is amazing. I ripped some of it from the game and I use it in some of my videos too. Oh, but don't get copyrighted for that, but it's so good. Insurgency. I'm already in the I section. Haven't found nothing. Lots of P, Lords of the Fallen. And I'm just trying to make use of this Game Pass as I can't get rid of it. So I gotta find something over here. Okay, here's a game that I wanted to get into, but I couldn't because I forget the reason. Sea of Stars. This is a really like big game from last year that came out. Or was it this year? I remember it because I got the the Game Informer magazine with this on the cover before Game Informer got unfortunately shuttered. And I've heard really cool things about it too. I think I'm gonna go Sea of Stars, guys. Honestly. I think I'm gonna go see if stars. All right, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like on the video, subscribe, and well, I'll see you on the next one.